Be still for a moment, my child. You do not have to sit up. You do not have to fold your hands or find the right words. Just stay where you are, exactly as you are. And let me speak to you softly, the way the night is soft. Because what I want to say to you tonight is about the night itself. About 3 in the morning. About the hour that has learned your name. You did not find this by accident. I know how it looked to you. One more video in the dark. One more thing to fill the silence, because the silence had teeth tonight. But I brought you here. Something in you was searching, even if you could not have said for what. And I answered. So do not leave yet. Stay with me for these few minutes. I am not going to shout at you. I am not going to demand anything from you. I only want to sit with you in this hour you dread and tell you what I see, and remind you of what I have already said in my word. Because what I have already said is enough to change how you carry this night, and every night after it. Let me begin with what I see. Because you think no one sees it. You think the night belongs to you alone. I see you wake, not because of a sound. The house is quiet. No door opened, no phone buzzed, nothing stirred. And yet your eyes open in the dark, as if someone called your name. It is always near the same hour, isn't it? You turn your head and look at the clock, and the small light of it tells you what you already knew before you looked. 3 in the morning. Again. As if the worry inside you keeps an appointment, and it has never once been late. I see you lie there, very still, trying not to weight the worry fully. Maybe if you do not move, it will pass over you. Maybe if you breathe slowly enough, sleep will take you back. But it never works that way, does it? Because the moment your mind surfaces, the projector turns on, and you know exactly which film it plays. The what-ifs, one after another, in that flat gray light that only exists behind closed eyes at 3 in the morning. What if the work dries up? What if that pain in your body is something more than tiredness, and the doctor's face goes quiet when the results come back? What if something happens to one of the people you love, and the phone rings at an hour like this one, and it is not nothing? What if the world keeps shifting under your feet the way it has been shifting, and you cannot find solid ground again? Your mind builds each scene so carefully. The conversation that has not happened, the letter that has not come, the room you have never stood in, where the bad news is delivered. None of it is real, my child. Not one of those scenes exists anywhere in heaven or on earth. And yet your heart pounds as if you were standing in them. Your chest tightens over things that have not happened. Your body grieves losses it has not suffered. That is the cruelty of this hour. It makes you live 100 futures, and every one of them is the worst one. And I see the arithmetic. Oh, my child, I see the arithmetic. Lying flat on your back in the dark, no pen, no paper, and still you are counting, adding the same numbers you added last night and the night before. What is due and when? What comes in and whether it stretches? The date circled in your mind like a stone in your shoe. You run the figures again, as if this time they might come out different, as if worry could move a decimal point. The numbers do not change at 3 in the morning. They only get heavier, and you carry them up and down the same staircase of thought until your mind is exhausted and still will not rest. Then morning comes, and I watch you perform. You rise on too little sleep. You wash your face and look at your own eyes in the mirror a moment longer than you need to. You make the coffee, and when someone asks how you are, you say the word, "Fine." You say it with a small smile, and you say it well, because you have practiced. No one at the table knows you were awake when the night was at its deepest. No one at work knows you have already lived through 3 disasters before sunrise. All of them imaginary, all of them exhausting. You carry the night alone, folded up small and hidden, and you think that hiddenness is strength. My child, I see how heavy that hiddenness is. I see the particular tiredness of the one who worries in secret, not just short of sleep, but short of being known. And there is one more thing I see, the one that hurts you most. You have tried to pray in that hour. You have started, "Father, I bring you this." And before the sentence finished, the worry pulled the wheel from your hands and drove the thoughts somewhere else, back into the figures, back into the what-ifs. 10 minutes later, you surfaced and realized you had stopped praying without ever deciding to stop. And then came the guilt, sitting down beside the worry like its old friend. You thought, what kind of faith is this that cannot even hold a prayer together? You thought, if I really trusted him, I would not be awake at all. So now you carry the worry, and on top of the worry, the shame of worrying. My child, hear me. I was not standing over that broken prayer with a measuring rod. I heard it. I heard all of it. The half sentence, the silence after, even the sigh you did not mean as a prayer. It reached me whole. A prayer interrupted by anxiety is still a prayer. A hand that trembles as it reaches for me is still a hand reaching for me. And I have never once refused a trembling hand. So that is your night. I have just described it to you, hour by hour, because I wanted you to know beyond doubt that I was there for every minute of it. You thought you were the only one awake in that house. You were wrong. You have never once been the only one awake. And that brings me to the first thing I need you to hear tonight. It is something I said long ago, in my word, and it has been waiting there for you all this time. In the 121st Psalm, my people sang these words about me as they traveled dangerous roads. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. Do you hear what that means, my child? It means the night watch is not yours. It never was. There is no hour of the dark when I am off duty. There is no 3 in the morning in heaven. No moment when my attention dims, when my eyes grow heavy, when the watchman nods and the walls go unguarded. I do not slumber. I do not sleep, while you lie there believing that someone has to stay awake and hold the world together. Your world, your family, your future. I am already holding it. And I was holding it before you woke. And I will be holding it after you finally drift back down into rest. Think about what your waking really is, underneath. It is a sentry's instinct. Some part of you believes the watch must be kept, and that you are the one who must keep it. That if you stop scanning the horizon for trouble, trouble will slip through. That your vigilance is the thread holding back the worst. My dear one, I say this to you with all the tenderness I have. You were never assigned that post. You have been standing a watch that was never yours, in a tower I never built for you. Losing sleep to guard a wall that I myself am guarding. The keeper of Israel does not slumber. So Israel can. The keeper of your life does not sleep. So you can. I know that is hard for you to believe at 3 in the morning. The dark makes my watchfulness feel like a rumor, and your fear feel like the only fact. So let me give you more than a statement. Let me give you a man who lived it, so you can see that these are not soft words for easy nights. But first, dear one, if these words are reaching some tired place in you, and you want me to meet you here again tomorrow night, and the night after, then let this channel become a quiet room you can return to. Press subscribe so you can find your way back. And if you are awake right now, this very hour, in the middle of your own 3 in the morning, write it in the comments below. Just say, I am awake too. You will see how many others are keeping the same watch you are keeping. Let them see you. You were never meant to believe you are the only light on in the world. Now come with me to David. When David wrote the 4th Psalm, he was not writing from a palace balcony on a peaceful evening. Read his life, and you will find a man who knew exactly what it is to lie down at night with no idea what the morning would bring. A man hunted across his own country by a king who wanted him dead. A man who slept in caves, in wilderness camps, in borrowed corners of foreign towns, who more than once went to bed not knowing if he would wake to footsteps. If anyone ever had the right to lie awake, running the what-ifs, it was David. His what-ifs carried spears. And yet, hear what he wrote. Hear it slowly, because every word was paid for. I will both lay me down in peace and sleep. For thou, Lord, only makest me dwell in safety. I will lay me down and sleep. Not because the danger has passed. It had not passed. Not because the king had called off the hunt. He had not called it off. David's circumstances at that hour were exactly as uncertain as they had been the hour before. Nothing outside him had changed. What changed was where he set his safety down. For thou, Lord, only makest me dwell in safety. Only, not the cave walls, though he was glad of them. Not the men standing guard, though he posted them. Not his own sword within reach, though it lay within reach. He looked at every one of his securities and admitted they were thin. And then he looked at me and lay down. His peace was not the absence of threat. His peace was the presence of his keeper. And so he slept, hunted, uncertain, unresolved. He slept. My child, do you see what I am showing you? I am showing you that the sleep you are missing does not live on the other side of your problems being solved. You have been telling yourself a quiet lie in the dark. I will rest when I know, when the work is secure, when the result comes back clear, when the numbers finally behave, when the future signs its name to a promise. But the future will never sign, dear one. There will always be one more unknown standing at the gate. If your rest is waiting for certainty, your rest will wait forever. David's rest did not wait for certainty. It leaned on a person. It leaned on me. And I have not changed since the night he wrote those words. Now let me take you to a boat, because there is a night on the Sea of Galilee that I want you to stand inside. For it is your night, exactly. It is written in the 4th chapter of Mark. My son and his disciples set out across the water in the evening, and a great storm of wind arose, and the waves beat into the ship, so that it was now full. Understand who was in that boat. Fishermen, men who had worked that sea since boyhood, who knew its moods, who had ridden out squalls before and laughed about them on shore. These were not nervous men, and this storm frightened them to the marrow. The boat was filling. The night was black. Every skill they had was already spent. And it was not enough. They were doing the 3 in the morning arithmetic with their own lives, counting the waves, measuring the water at their ankles, running the what-ifs to their cold conclusion. We are going to die out here. And where was my son? He was in the hinder part of the ship, asleep on a pillow. The same boat, the same storm, the same waves, the same wind, the same black water. The disciples wide awake and drowning in fear, and Jesus sleeping like a child, so deeply that the storm itself could not wake him. They had to shake him. 2 completely different nights were happening in one boat, and the difference was not the weather. The difference was what each of them knew about who was on board. And when they woke him, do you remember what they said? It is the rawest sentence in that whole gospel, and I want you to notice it, because you have prayed it yourself without knowing you were quoting scripture. They said, Master, carest thou not that we perish? Don't you care? That is the real question under all your what-ifs, isn't it, my child? Not just what will happen, but does he see, and does he care? And will he be there when it happens? Every 3 in the morning is that question wearing different clothes. Carest thou not? The disciples flung it at him with the spray still in their faces, and he did not strike them down for asking it. He did not lecture them first. He arose and rebuked the wind, and said unto the sea, Peace, be still. And the wind ceased, and there was a great calm. Then, only then, with the water flat and the night quiet, he asked them gently, Why are ye so fearful? Now hear me carefully, because I will not lie to you to make you feel better. And that is precisely why you can trust every word I say. I am not telling you that your storm will be commanded flat tonight. I have not said that in my word about your Thursday, and so I will not put it in your ear at midnight. What I am telling you is what that night on the water proves forever. The storm did not mean he was absent, and it did not mean he did not care. He was in the boat the whole time. The waves were never between you and him. He was inside them with you. And the one who slept on that pillow is the same one who keeps watch over you. The storm could not unseat him then, and your storm cannot unseat him now. That is not a promise I am inventing for you tonight. That is the record. It is written. So you know now that I keep the watch, and you have seen 2 nights, a cave and a boat, where my children slept inside unsolved trouble because they knew who was keeping it. But there is one more thing I must untangle for you, my child, because it is the engine of your 3 in the morning, and until you see it plainly, it will keep dragging you from sleep. It is this: you are trying to live tomorrow tonight. When my son taught on the hillside, in the 6th chapter of Matthew, he ended his teaching on worry with words so simple that people walk past them. Take therefore no thought for the morrow shall take thought for the things of itself. Sufficient unto the day is the evil thereof. Sufficient unto the day. Do you know what he was telling you? He was telling you how I ration grace. I am a God of daily bread, dear one. That is how I taught you to pray. Give us this day our daily bread. This day, not this decade. When I fed my people in the wilderness, the manna came with the morning, enough for that day, and it could not be stockpiled. Whoever tried to gather a week of it found it would not keep. That was not a flaw in the bread. That was a lesson in the bread. I supply by the day, strength by the day, mercy new every morning, peace measured out like manna, enough, always enough, for the day you are actually standing in. And now do you see what 3 in the morning really is? It is you, standing in tonight, trying to spend tomorrow's strength. You are attempting to carry Thursday's load with Tuesday's bread. You are reaching for grace I have not issued yet, because the day it belongs to has not arrived yet. And finding nothing in your hands, you conclude that there is nothing. My child, there is bread for that day. There is, but it will be given on that day, in that day, the way it has been given every single time before. When you rehearse the hard conversation at 3 in the morning, you rehearse it without the grace that will be present at the real one. When you live the bad news room in your imagination, you live it alone, because I am not in your imagined rooms, dear one. I am only ever in real ones. That is why every disaster you preview in the dark feels unsurvivable. You are previewing it without me in it. The real day, if it ever comes, and most of your imagined days never come, the real day will have daily bread in it, and it will have me in it. Even the arithmetic, beloved, even the numbers you count in the dark. I am not going to stand at your bedside and promise you a windfall. You have heard voices do that. Voices that borrow my name and promise breakthroughs by Friday. And I want you to notice that I have never once spoken that way to you tonight, because I do not bait my children with words I have not written. But I will tell you what I have written. I have written that your heavenly Father knoweth that ye have need of all these things. I know the figures. I know them to the last digit, and I knew them before you did, and not one of them has ever surprised me. The counting you do at 3 in the morning adds nothing to the column and subtracts everything from you. Those numbers belong to days that have not dawned. Let them wait for their own bread, in their own morning. Your only task tonight was never to solve them. Your only task tonight is to sleep in the house of the one who already holds them. So now, my child, let me give you something to do with all of this. Not a formula, not a ritual that earns my attention. You have my attention. You have never for 1 second not had my attention. Just a simple practice, a way of putting your body and your mind in agreement with what is already true. I call it handing over the watch. Tonight, before you lie down, I want you to relieve yourself of duty. Do it deliberately, the way a guard is relieved at the changing of the watch. Take the things that wait for you at 3 in the morning, and instead of letting them ambush you in the dark, call them out by name in the light. Speak them aloud, or write them down. It does not matter which, but make them leave the fog of your mind and take on actual words. The work, the result you are waiting for, the person you fear for, the figure with the date attached. Name each one. You will notice something as you do it. Named. They are smaller than they were in the fog. Fog always magnifies. Then, when they are named, hand them to me. My servant Peter wrote it down so you would know it is allowed. Casting all your care upon him, for he careth for you. Casting, my child. That is a throwing word, not a placing word. Not setting your cares down neatly, or you can snatch them back. Throwing them, the way you throw a load off your shoulders when you cannot carry it another step. So say it to me plainly. Say, Father, these are yours tonight. The watch is yours tonight. I am going to sleep because you do not. Say it in those words or in your own. I am not grading the words. And then lie down, and let your lying down itself be the prayer. David made it one. I will both lay me down in peace and sleep. For thou, Lord, only makest me dwell in safety. Every night you choose to close your eyes inside an unsolved life. You are preaching a sermon about who you believe I am. Sleep itself can be an act of faith. It may be the most honest act of faith you perform all week. And if you still wake, because you may do one, a habit of years does not always vanish in a night, and I will not pretend to you that it must. Then change what the waking means. Do not lie there and let the projector start. Do not pick the numbers back up. You handed them to me, remember? And I did not give them back. Instead, let that hour become the one appointment you keep with me instead of with your fear. If your eyes open at 3, let your first whole thought be this: he is awake too. He was awake already. And then talk to me. Not eloquently, you are half asleep. I do not expect eloquence at 3 in the morning. I do not particularly expect it at noon. Just turn the watching into company. Tell me what surfaced. Thank me for one thing the day actually held. Pray for the person sleeping near you or far from you. And if even that is beyond you, then simply breathe, slowly, and with every breath out, say one word: yours. The night is yours. The future is yours. They are yours. I am yours. You will find, in time, that an hour which used to be an interrogation can become a meeting place. Some of my children come to tell me the small hours turned into the sweetest hours once they stopped facing them alone. I am not promising you a feeling, beloved. I am inviting you to a presence. The feeling, when it comes, will only be the evidence. One more word of direction, and I ask you to take this one seriously, because I built you for it. Stop carrying the night in secret. The hiddenness you have been calling strength is costing you more than you know. Somewhere in your life, there is a person who would want to know that you lie awake. A husband or a wife, a grown child, a friend, a brother or sister in your church. Tell one of them, not the whole world, one of them. Let one other human being know what 3 in the morning looks like for you. And let them ask you about it from time to time. And let them pray for you by name. I designed my children to bear burdens in 2s and 3s, not in solitary towers. The worry that is spoken to a friend in daylight has far less power to ambush you in the dark. And if the weariness has gone deeper than tiredness, my child, if the nights have begun to drain the very wish to keep going, then hear me clearly. Reaching for help is not a failure of faith. It is faith. Go to your pastor. Sit with your people. Take the hand that is offered. I am not only found in the dark at 3 in the morning. I am also found in the friend across the table, in the church that gathers, in every good hand extended toward you. I built it that way on purpose, so that you would never have to be alone to find me. If something in this hour has loosened the knot in your chest, even a little, then share this with one person who you know is awake in their own dark. You know someone. Everyone knows someone. And before you go, write one word below for the others who will come here at their own 3 in the morning, so they find more than silence. Even a single sentence, "You are not the only one awake," can be the rope another soul climbs down on. Now, my child, the night is waiting, and it is a different night than the one you woke up in. Let me say the last things slowly, so you can take them with you to your pillow. You are not the keeper of your world. I am. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. And the keeper of Israel is your keeper, tonight and every night. And there has never been 1 second of darkness in which my eyes were not on you. The watch is mine. It was always mine. You may stand down. Your future is not in the fog where your fear paints it. It is in my hands, where it has been since before you drew breath. The days ahead of you, the real ones, not the imagined ones, will arrive one at a time, each carrying its own bread, and you will find me standing inside every single one of them. Sufficient unto the day, I have measured it all, and you are not alone in the boat. You never were. The waves are loud, but they are not in charge. And the one who said, "Peace, be still," has not lost his voice, and he has not left the stern. The storm could not wake him, because the storm could not threaten him. And you, beloved, you are hidden in his care. So lay down the watch, lay down the numbers, lay down the 100 futures, and keep only this one true thing as you close your eyes. He careth for you. Not he tolerated you. Not he will care once you are stronger. He careth for you. Now, tonight, as you are, mid-worry, half asleep, prayer unfinished, I will both lay me down in peace and sleep. For thou, Lord, only makest me dwell in safety. Sleep now, my child. The light you think must be kept burning, I am that light, and I do not go out. Good night, dear one. I am here. I am awake. Rest.